All right, welcome to Ashes to Ashes. Our guest did not show up for today. Hopefully next week he will. But besides that, let's just talk about what's going on this week.
What is going on this week?
It's a
What
very good
is going
question.
on this week?
Very, very good question. Let's see. Anyone have anything paranormal happen to them recently?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither. Cool.
I did
Nah.
actually.
Oh, you did, Sam. All right, let's hear about it.
Up on the weekend, right? I went up to Sorrento, which is a little coastal town in Victoria, right?
Mhm.
In
So you went
famous
down
for-
to Sorrento.
whatever. I went there, down to the beach. They family friends have this big proper house. I don't know how they can afford it, but it was quite old. That's probably why.
Who is a
It's a
house
bit
these
decrepit.
days?
Yeah, I know, right? But so the one night we were staying there, it was like 11. I was just about to drift off to sleep when it started really, really heavily thundering, and I was like, oh, because it's a bit of a bit of a what you would call a haunted house, as they would say, right? Because it's very old. It's got like old paintings. It hasn't really been renovated, so it's still got that really rustic look.
Oh yeah.
Then I hear like a little something. I hear a little something at the end of the hall. So I exit out of my room and look down the hall, and there's a window at the end of the hall, right?
Okay.
And all of a sudden, a big flash of lightning. And while you couldn't see anything in the window, the silhouette on the ground, on the floorboards, was that of a gangly old lady. This is true, by the way. This actually happened. There was a human silhouette in the flash of the lightning when there wasn't a human in the window.
And were there any old
So,
ladies staying with you?
no, not old ladies. There's like mums, but that's really the closest. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh, I'm pretty scared about that. Oh, I'm shaking in my boots. And then I told my family friends about it, and I was like, is there anything that could explain what happened? What happened last night? What I actually saw? And they couldn't really give me an answer, and they just called me a pussy.
Did that actually happen, or did you just try and set up for some punchline?
Pussy.
Sam, I really like that story. Alright, fine. You want to leave it ambiguous?
be
Let's leave it ambiguous, okay?
Could it be that
It's based off
someone had spray painted the silhouette on the floor?
That's a. Don't know why they do that, but that's a theory.
Like maybe this is some sort of Scooby-Doo scheme.
It's based off a real story that actually happened, but
Okay.
Oh hey, Mr. Blobby.
Holy heck, Mr. Blobby, how you doing, mate?
Oh, it's Mr. Blobby. Alright, welcome to the podcast.
I'm on my.
Would you like to say something?
Are you recording?
Yes,
Yes.
we are. Top of the morning to you. Like your good mornings, It's like Jacksepticeye as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know him personally.
That's awesome. Have you had any...
Roger, you need to use the overly ecstatic YouTuber voice.
Yeah, I probably should use that because Blobby just left. Let's see if we can get Kokori on instead. Maybe he's got something cool to tell us about. Yeah, that was a good story to start off the podcast. Recently, I haven't had much happening. In terms of paranormal, like I never have had anything happening. I just like to talk about it. Let's see. Alright, we've got a very other special guest joining us in T minus around, I don't know, 10 seconds I'd say. So want everyone to get ready, get your laugh tracks ready, get your like applause like as a celebrity entering a sitcom.
I don't have a laugh track.
That's alright, just play the closest thing to a laugh track you got.
Hold up. I have this. Oh no, you can't hear that.
No, I could hear it. It's
That's
like
perfect.
kids cheering. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Just like spam that. And that too.
Yeah, I think I'll do a bit of both.
What was that?
Like a monkey.
Yeah.
Great podcast.
Look, bro, at this point I'm just padding for time, alright? I'm not very good at planning this stuff ahead. Yeah.
So is the Weird Al showing up?
No,
Oh.
Weird Al Mpreg is not showing up for some... Oh, hey, he's here. Kokori, you wanna...
Swag.
Swag, yeah, look, it's Kokori, everyone. It's like the celebrity entering the sitcom.
Hold up.
Yeah, clap up.
No.
Alright, what's happening, Kokori? Had any paranormal experiences recently?
Actually, yeah. I got fucking possessed like a week ago.
You got possessed.
Yes, I
Damn.
got fucking possessed.
Alright, tell us all about it. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so I had gotten into an argument with my mom, right? And after the argument, I was just fucking emotionally drained, and like I literally started like losing like my will and shit. Like I felt like that shit was being taken away from me. Like I could not move my body on my own. I felt like somebody else was fucking controlling me.
Alright, like literally somebody else?
Like literally somebody else.
Okay, yeah.
And fucking I don't know what the fuck it is.
Well, what did it do, you know?
And
Crazy.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, what did you do while possessed?
fucking I was looking up spiritual shit. I was fucking looking up like fucking the spiritual meaning of a fucking deer soul and shit. Like it just
A deer's skull?
yes.
Alright, okay, we can work with something here. Alright, this is a good topic for the podcast. You got a whole group of people here who can brainstorm this. So
Don't like Wendigos use deer skulls or something?
that was exactly my first thought as well, Wendigos. Have you found a meaning on your own yet, Kokori? That's what I have to ask.
Mine is probably a stretch, but I read that the deer skull in spirituality is a source of femininity. And the first thought that came to mind was dualism. You know, man and female, you know, the whole
Yeah, like opposites attract.
there's
and that kind of
always two
stuff.
sides, yeah, opposites attract and stuff. And like I started thinking spirits that like have to do with that, and the first spirit that came to mind was Baphomet.
Baphomet. Alright, now, yeah, that's a very... Let's talk about Baphomet then, okay? So Baphomet is... You've all probably seen him before, even if you don't know the name, but most of you probably know the name, right?
Isn't Baphomet like basically a bastardized version of Allah?
So
Like as
Baphomet,
portrayed by Christians?
the one picture, the
Yeah, I
main
don't
picture
know
of it is
about
this
that.
one. So that you can see down there, it's signed by this guy called Eliphas Levi, which was this, like, he was this really, really influential occultist back in the day, right?
Right.
You can see he's got this really like big duality theme. So you can see there's the two crescent moons there, which is like what Cole was talking about, right? And then
Yeah.
you've got both. So this version is wearing pants. He's not supposed to be wearing pants. There should be like a version of him. You know, I can't find that on Google Images, probably because I got safe search on. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's like he's got like, you know, he's got titties, but he's also got a dick down there, which is like the male and
Yeah.
female parts.
About how big is this? Are we talking? Here.
Just look it up for yourself, bro. I'm not going into details about that
Yeah,
stuff.
look it over yourself.
How big is what?
Ah, shit.
Oh god.
You little
Here we
details.
fucking go. Now we get derailed.
And then yeah, on both of his arms, you can see his tattooed there. You see one says solve and the other one says coagula, which is more like it's like dissolve and coagulate.
Yeah.
And that's taken from like I think it was like alchemists or something to, you know, try and make the philosopher's stone
Yeah,
or whatever.
alchemy.
Yeah, so he's got that massive theme of like duality in there. So yeah, that's a pretty good pickup, Kokori.
Also, got the snake staff of Hermes there. Forget what
Yes.
it's called, but it's
Yes,
like
he does.
dog Hermes.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very good analysis.
Also, can't help but notice that's a goat head, not a deer skull. So
That is.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Baphomet was first sort of invented, like, as a way to accuse witches of worshipping something at a black mass. And a black mass is be like when a bunch of witches gather together, you know, do nefarious shit. And ever since then, it's just become this massive cultural icon for like bad stuff, but also mixing stuff that should be separate into one thing, like duality.
yeah,
also like heavy metal.
Yeah, and yeah, you know, heavy metal, they like to use naughty symbols. And there's like
Yeah.
the naughtiest of symbols. It's got a bunch of naughty symbols in there.
That like
I've
voodoo-
seen a heavy metal album cover with a swastika. I can't remember the actual album.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that seems to be going a bit too far.
Oh yeah, you know what else, everyone?
Well,
It's Chinese New Year today.
Oh damn.
That
That
Yeah,
means a
happy
lot.
Chinese New Year.
Yeah. So can we get a fat Xin Yan Kuai Le? That's Happy New Year. Yes.
I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to learn Mandarin.
You should really learn Mandarin. It's a good
What's
language.
up with Chinese New Year's? So is it like our New Year's, but like they just have it at a different time, or is it like just a
Well,
holiday? What's up with that?
in the West, like in the Gregorian calendar, I think it's called, we operate on what's like called
Yeah.
a solar calendar, right? So in Chinese New Year, they use the lunar calendar, so it's based on the moon instead of the sun, and like all the moon phases and stuff. So that's why it's a bit different,
Oh.
but it's like more or less the same kind of length.
So do they have like different dates than
Yeah.
us, or
Well, they have a traditional calendar with different dates, but in modern China, most of
Yeah.
them use the Gregorian calendar or the solar calendar.
Time of the year.
But still, if like a holiday is on a slightly different date each year, and you'll see this with like a lot of traditional holidays, not just in China, but also like Orthodox Easter. What else? Like I think Ramadan. They all have different dates because they use the lunar calendar instead of the solar calendar, and that's just because like in the old times it was way easier to tell the time by looking at what the moon's like.
then of course there's over in
wow.
then of course there's over in America where we have Thanksgiving, our special holiday where we celebrate the slaughter of Indians on
Yeah.
Thursdays.
Yeah.
So it's not according to solar or lunar, it's according to this made up thing called a week.
Yeah, yeah, that's an interesting one.
There's 51 of those.
51.
It's a very primitive and backwards culture here in America.
Yeah? Why would you call it that?
I'm just kind of fucking tossing shit here.
Oh, I thought, you could...
Well, no one knows how
elaborate
to
on it.
dress, dude.
Pretty
That's-
crazy over in the States.
You know what it is pretty
Yeah.
crazy? I always hear stories about, like, what just the average US citizen gets up to. And it just sounds like, they live in a movie. Like, here, we live in just... I don't know. We live in a society.
It's
They live in a
boring.
movie.
We do live in a society.
I think we all live in a society.
Of
Yeah.
course, we all live in a society.
Some of those societies are like movies, though. I mean, it doesn't seem like a movie to me, but
Yeah, I mean, we always say we live in a society, but we also make up society,
damn, that's some deep.
We gotta
Yeah,
think about
that's
that more,
deep.
yeah. You've been quite a lot
Mojo
this...
the philosopher.
The philosopher, yeah. You've been quite a lot this episode, Kirby. You got anything to say about it?
No, not really.
Whoa, did I just hear we live in a society and this is deep within the same minute? I wouldn't,
We make up a society,
Yeah.
Tony.
Dude, what if we are the society we live in?
We've been in the society.
Well,
Guys, I got something even deeper.
Alright, let's hear it.
We're in the Matrix.
Shit.
We're in the... Oh, that's a big one. We're in the
Take the
Matrix.
red pill, boys. We're in the Matrix.
And the Matrix is in a society,
Yes.
Yes, it is.
which is also in a Matrix, which is in a society, etc.
Yeah. Back to Kokori's topic about the deer skull. So, if it's not
Yeah.
Baphomet Cole, what do you think it is?
So, like, the deer is like a symbol of femininity, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, is it? Like, what about the horns?
Like-
I mean, the antlers.
Is this like your really subtle way of coming out as trans, Kokori?
What? What kind of question is that? I have to ask. Sorry, no offense to transgenders, but
Yeah, it's
I think
pretty
I'm more
tongue in
just
cheek.
like
I hope it's backwards, Stay.
I'm
Yeah, I really have nothing though.
right now.
Wait, okay, so this thing that took your will, alright? So we're on the same page here. This thing took your will,
Yes.
and it basically,
Yes.
like, took over your body,
Yes.
and it made you look up...
Research
The
deer
sim-
skulls.
Yeah, research deer skulls?
Exactly. Yes.
Maybe it was just a ghost that was kind of curious.
But something here... I don't know. There's
Couldn't
something
use
missing
Google
here.
without a body.
This level of reasoning is not possible
Don't
for
doubt
me.
that. But I mean, why would ghosts go through all the effort of possessing a person to make them look it up on Google when they can just possess a computer and look it up on Google themselves? For
Yeah, what are they thinking?
Can ghosts possess computers?
Well, if the deer's a symbol of femininity, then if it's a skull, that means it's dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Wendigo
least I
explanation a
think
lot
so.
more. I think that's cool. I think it was a Wendigo trying to
What if
freak
it
you
was
out.
like a? What if it was like a deer ghost or something? Like the ghost of a deer.
But why would it possess Kokiri, huh? Does he even have any deers in his area?
Do
I don't
you-
think
I
so.
don't know.
We've got stray cats. We've got stray cats and like birds.
Well, maybe
like
he doesn't
roaches
have
and
any deers in his.
Where do you
Maybe he
live to have
doesn't
that
have
many
any
stray
deers in his
cats?
area because the deer is dead.
Maybe.
What kind of Matrix type shit is this?
No, he lives in Florida. I don't think they'd have that many deers there, especially because if he lives in Florida and he's so vocal about it, that also must mean he's proud enough to live near the beach.
I actually don't live near the beach, actually. I live
Damn it.
more inland.
Do you live in Portland?
I thought Portland wasn't in
That's in
Florida.
Oregon! That's in
Yes,
Oregon.
that's in Oregon. Not,
Yeah, I was about
not
to say, isn't
Florida.
Portland in Oregon?
Yes.
Man.
Fuck, lagged out for a second there.
Alright. Cole, I have no idea what state you're in. You've got, like, too much of an accent to be from California. But, like, your ideology says
I'm
California.
from Indiana.
Wait, Indiana? Vinyl King? No, Vinyl King's from California. I know that much.
Yeah.
He's not gonna unmute himself to oh no, there we go.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not in California. I'm in Melbourne, Queensland.
Melbourne, Queensland, huh?
Bruh.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. You know what animal I wanted to talk about this recently. First of all, Kirby,
Yes.
do you or do you not want to share the story about the fox?
Oh, the fox that was over the road from me.
Yeah, it's just a really quick story, so.
Okay, so about a week ago now, at around 2 o'clock in the morning, one of my neighbors actually found a fox walking just outside their house.
Yeah, legit, and like went up to their feet. I saw the video, she showed me.
Yeah, the fox went right up to them and untied one of their shoelaces, from what it looked like as well.
yeah, and it's not like Kirby doesn't live out in the country or whatever. You live in a fairly like developed suburb, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know. That stuff kind of blows my mind. Doesn't it blow your mind?
It does.
Like, where would it even live? You know?
I mean, foxes are like pretty well adapted to living in cityscapes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Pretty sure
They're
my
like
sister
pretty
saw a fox the
smart,
other day.
which is like they're pretty smart, which is a big thing
Yeah.
when living in a city.
Yeah. Like even
Very agile.
But like, even though you know that they are there, like it's not always a big thing to actually see them.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I've only seen one like a couple times in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
But you know what I started noticing recently? And I also told Kobe this before. Like, I've started just spending time, like, looking up the sky outside at night. Just, like, vibing and listening to music, alright? In my backyard, right?
Right.
wait,
And you know what I'm really surprised by? You see so many bats. I don't know why, but so many of them just fly right over.
well, it's vampire season.
Like, yeah, my house is under a flight path, but apparently it's for both airplanes and bats. It's crazy, like, I've never seen them before this year. Unless it was, like, in a zoo or something. I don't know, it's not very paranormal, I just wanted to share that. Alright, anyone else got anything to talk about?
Yeah, anything could happen.
Anything could happen, that's right. Because this is...
I'm one of realistic thinking, and oh, sorry.
Oh, hold on, Vinyl King sent me some messages. I read a theory on Scooby-Doo taking place after a complete government shutdown. You should check it out. That's a really cool idea. I should check that out, and I'll probably talk about it next episode. Besides that, I guess that's everything, It's a very well-rounded 30-minute podcast. Thank you all for joining me today, even though there was no guest. Still pretty good. Yeah, I'll probably have this one edited and out by Sunday. Sorry, what'd you say, Sam?
We made the most of it.
Exactly, we did. We made the most of it. We had a lot of good discussions here. We got like 2 proper paranormal stories in, which is pretty good
Yeah,
considering
exactly.
The average is like
Thomas,
0.3.
hit us with one more of those sound effects.
Zero paranormal story average.
Fantastic.
Excuse me,
Pussy.
I'm one of realistic thinking, and I am not sure that we may get this on the shelves within 20 years. People may think of paranormal experts as kooks, as one would call.
We are though. No, alright. I
Right there. Cut the podcast right there.
I see your point, Final King. Currently, honestly, the thing is, I'm not very good at telling jokes. Like, I'm just gonna front it with everyone here. I'm not good at telling jokes. I'm a very serious person. So I need these people here around me, you know, like Sam and Joe. They're like the jokers, you know? And they really help to lighten the mood of the podcast.
Jokers.
Yeah.
We live in a
telling off
society.
jokers, or jokes.
Sorry, what'd you say, Final King?
So you're only good at telling off jokes.
I'm only good at telling non-jokes, you know, like the truth, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I'm good at inspiring people.
Mojo here is an intellectual.
Sometimes I'm good at like, you know, just talking about stuff. I could talk about stuff forever, but it's totally boring if I don't have other people to bounce it off.
Straight men are important for comedy.
Yeah.
Like, look at Abbott and Costello. You got the classic duo of the straight man and the weirdo.
Banana chips.
Yeah, exactly. Even among like, who else? I'm trying to think of other people. I don't know. Could you say the Three Stooges? Because I mean, they are Three Stooges, but then there's that like the middle child is the one that's like not ridiculous, you know? Larry, is that his name?
Is there a Stooge that's not ridiculous? I haven't really watched.
I mean, he's not ridiculous in comparison. Like compared to a regular person, like a normal person, he'd be totally ridiculous. He's like the one with the hair instead of the bowl cut or the bald.
Oh, Curly.
No, I'm pretty sure Curly's
I
bald.
think it's Curly. Wait.
Straight. You have to wonder what the curly part is referring to.
Does anyone have any records?
I mean,
As in,
you have to wonder.
Alright, we'll leave that mystery up to the viewers. So, viewers, I want you to comment on this video. 1, what do you think the curly part is referring to? And 2, what do you think that Kokori's deer skull means? Alright? And what do you think happened with that whole possession thing? 3, maybe try and solve the mystery of Sam's haunted house.
Yep.
And there you go, you know, that's like, you can be your own little detectives.
Keeps popping up.
We'll probably call this episode, like, Ghost Detectives or something, you know? Maybe Spirit Detectives. I think that's a cool name. Alright, this has been the Ashes to Ashes podcast. Yeah, well, this has been Cole, Kirby, Kokori, Vinyl King, Thomas Milk, and myself, and we'll catch you on the flip side.